Hidden Figures, directed by Theodore Melfi. Based on the nonfiction book of the same name by Margot Lee, though the characters are real-life people. Taraji Henson as Catherine Goebel, Janelle Monáe as Mary Jackson, Octavia Spencer as Dorothy Vaughn,
Oh, I'll tell you where to begin. 3 Negro women are chasing a white police officer down the highway in Hampton, Virginia, 1961. Ladies, that there is a God-ordained miracle.
3 female African-American mathematicians play a pivotal role in astronaut John Glenn's launch into orbit. As the United States raced against Russia to put a man in space, meanwhile they also have to deal with the racial and gender discrimination at work. One scene showed in the movie is where they're trying to find a solution to bring back the Redstone rocket without harming the person inside. Here, they are tackling about the topic orbiting intersectionally.
It's slowing it down at precisely the right moment, at precisely the right amount. That's the task. Yes, Catherine?
So it needs to move from an elliptical orbit to parabolic.
For the whole movie, rockets and spaceships are mainly the attraction, but let's focus on the machine that made the rockets possible, IBM machine.
It's called an IBM, a mainframe machine. Apparently, it can do our calculations in a fraction of the time.
Because of the perseverance of these 3 women against all odds, they helped alongside many others into successfully putting a man in space, leading to what we, the humankind, are achieving today. The Martian. Directed by Ridley Scott. Released in 2015. Matt Damon is Mark Watney.
Okay, so here's the rub. I've got one working.
Jessica Chastain as Commander Lewis.
Of their agency.
Jeff Daniels as Teddy Sanders, Director of NASA.
But for people all over the world. I thought you gave a lovely speech, by the way.
Chiwetel Ejiofor as Vincent Kapoor.
We haven't told.
Adapted from the novel of the same name by Andy Weir, the film depicts an astronaut's lone struggle to survive on Mars after being left behind and efforts to rescue him and bring him home to Earth.
I'm not gonna die. Mars will come to fear my botany powers.
As the protagonist was left behind, he had to find his way around to survive, including sources of food, oxygen, and water, which takes us to the science behind the selected scene, where protagonist Mark Watney finds the right computation for him to grow potatoes as his food.
every cubic meter of soil requires 40 liters of water to be farmable. So I gotta make a lot more water. Good thing is I know the recipe. You take hydrogen, you add oxygen, you burn. Now I have hundreds of liters of unused hydrazine at the NDB. If I run the hydrogen...
And how to water it, which also represents the technology used in making the apparatus.
Direct the hydrogen into a small area and burn it. Luckily, NASA hates fire because of the whole fire makes everybody die in space thing. So everything they sent us up here with is flame retardant with Hey there. To the potatoes, so now it's time to reap and re-sow. They grew even better than I expected. I now have 400 healthy potato plants. I dug them up, being careful to leave their plants alive. The smaller ones I'll reseed, the larger ones are my food supply. All natural, organic, Martian-grown potatoes. You don't hear that every day, do you? And by the way, none of this matters at all if I can't figure out a way to make contact with NASA. Chicago, my alma mater.
They say that once you grow crops somewhere, you've officially colonized it.
So, technically, I colonized Mars.
Just like what the astronaut did, we need to find ways to keep us fed. With movies like this, it also helps us promote the idea of working in the field of science and how it can develop our world.